This will be session E88030, DOR number 3. Date is 12/10/88, and time is approximately 10:15. I'm beginning to feel more relaxed now.
Mm-hmm.
You have a procedure you like to attend to in relaxing and remembering to put your worries and concerns in your security repository box and move through your body relaxation or push the magic button.
Mm-hmm. Give me another minute or so.
Okay, I'll give you the or so. It's now been 8.5 minutes into your session. We're going to check and see how you're progressing with your relaxation. How are you doing now, Debbie?
Great. Just feels very comfortable.
Alright. You just go ahead and continue to progress, and I'm going to mix some frequencies together for you, but you go ahead and move in this pattern that you know well. Move to that place of comfort for you. Go ahead and move towards that comfortable place that you know so well.
Okay.
It's now been 15 minutes into your session. I'm going to see how things are going. How are you doing, Dabney?
I was just talking to my guides and welcoming them, and I asked them if they would help me today. And I asked them, actually I told them that this is such a nice place to be in. I feel they're always there, but it's such a good feeling to be so in touch with them. I feel a great deal of strength from them today.
Very good.
I asked them to help. Of course they always do, but I specifically asked for their help in whatever it is that would be most important today.
And what was their reply?
I stopped to tell you what I was doing. I need to listen.
I will wait.
Follow, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to follow them or you.
Alright, I think that we can probably combine those. You can follow them by using the sounds that I provide you. Ask them if this is alright.
Okay. They're telling me that's good, just to drift.
Alright, very good. Then, with this communication, the first step then would be to drift. And as you do so, I'm going to give you a little bit different set of frequencies to help tune you up, as it were, while you're drifting. So just relax and drift. And I'll shift your frequencies just a little bit. Now at 23 minutes into your session, and you're drifting with a bed of Focus 15 frequencies, Your voltage has been relatively stable, not moving more than just a few volts in every direction. You seem to be locked in and undisturbed by talking to me as well. And how are you doing now, Dabney?
I'm just drifting. Feels very comfortable.
And can you still know that your guides are with you here while you're drifting?
Mm-hmm. They're being very close. I'm looking at it doesn't look like exactly a pinwheel today, but I'm looking at those energies again. They have a lot more color today, and they're in different forms, and I was trying to drift up toward them.
Mm-hmm. Ask your guides now if you are ready to follow them.
Okay. Yes, but I don't know where we're going.
Ask them if it's necessary for you to know at this time.
You're right. All I need to do is follow.
Are you ready then?
Mm-hmm.
All you need to do then is focus your attention on your guides and follow the sound patterns.
Okay.
Now been in session 34 minutes, Dabney, and we're going to check with you and see how you're doing with following your guides. How are you doing, Dabney?
I feel like I'm going down a long sort of tunnel or avenue of like rainbows. I felt a couple of times like someone's actually trying to lift me
Yes.
Strong sensation of waves of energy.
Yes. Tell your guides you feel these waves of energy.
Had this sort of funny little thought. Every once in a while I can see them sort of lean over to look in at me and check on me, and they're amused at me. But it's a loving thought, but they're amused.
Say hello.
Excuse me.
Say hello.
Say hello.
Hello to these that are watching.
Okay.
Now approaching 40 minutes into your session. What's going on now, Tammy?
I'm having actually a lot more sensation than I've ever felt of someone actually touching me. They're sort of starting out tentative, like they're afraid it might startle me. And I encourage them that I would appreciate them helping to lift me, help me detach from my physical body. And I can feel their touch at several places on my body.
All right. And be sure that you provide them feedback that when you feel their touch, tell them that you feel that, so that they have some feedback and know what's going on.
I did. I tried. Before I told you, I was telling them that I could feel their touch at various points and encourage them that it was a positive, appreciated thing.
Very good. I will be here. Just go ahead and feel comment anytime you like.
Okay. Rocking or jerking kind of movement a moment ago, but I told them that was okay to encourage them to go ahead.
It's now been 45 minutes in your session. How are you doing, Dabney?
I'm just drifting.
And your guides?
They're here. I feel alternately very light and then very heavy. It's interesting.
Ask your guides about this.
I understood earlier and lifting me is like lifting dead weight, which I thought was funny. You would think of your second body as being light.
Ask if there's anything you can do to help this process.
Okay. They're excited about the question, but I didn't get the answer. It's a lot of movement when I ask them, but maybe quiet a minute and see if I can concentrate on this and get it.
Very good. Maybe they want to show you what to do as opposed to tell you.
Okay. I guess I'm still rocking. I don't know. That's part of what they want me to do. Let's see if this is a progressive thing.
Now approaching 54 minutes into your session. How are you doing, Dabney?
I'm just trying to imagine myself totally open or was picturing myself like a sponge and being blank and trying to perceive what message they were sending as opposed to what things I might dream up myself. The rocking motion is continuing. That's interesting. It's I don't know how to describe it. Get the feeling they're trying to help get some sort of vibration or movement going that would pop me loose. Feeling strong pressure across my forehead.
Ask what this is.
Okay. They didn't tell me what it is, but whatever it was, they were doing it, but they didn't realize it would feel that way. It's not particularly comfortable, so they've either stopped it or changed it so it doesn't at least feel uncomfortable. They're still doing whatever it is, but now it's not uncomfortable. Like I've been able to release and relax my body and given them the invitation to be responsible and to help, and I'm just sort of like watching what's happening. Detached feeling. A little while ago they told me this, I got this message, it's something like making love. I explained I didn't know what they're talking about, but they haven't explained it. I think maybe they mean the release. The atmosphere in here is real heavy now. It's like being in water instead of like being in air, or else I've dropped down into the waterbed. It's very warm and very heavy.
Ask them about this.
They keep telling me just to be quiet and just flow. All my little thoughts seem to get in the way.
And what are you going to do with their advice?
I think I should do that.
Then I will wait.
Feels like water is to show me, try to show me it's as easy as drifting, sort of like a difference in the ease of swimming to walking. It's just a matter of releasing and going up. I asked if they would hold my hand and help pull me up, and they're holding my left hand. I don't feel like I'm going up yet, though. They've lifted my left hand.
All right.
They're very patient now. They're trying to rock me sideways instead of the other way. I feel like I can wiggle my fingers, but if I wiggle my fingers a little bit more than I wiggle my physical fingers. Still difficult for me to identify what's what.
It's now been an hour and 10 minutes into your session. We've had a great deal of swing and voltage here, so we've been interested to see what's going to happen. How are you feeling now, Tammy?
Now it's just relaxing.
It's nearing the ending time here, so I want you to, while you're still in this wonderful place, take a few minutes to make some inquiries as to information which might be important for you to have today.
Okay. To remember what I've learned today, the lessons I've learned today.
Okay. Where have your spiral energy friends been during this time?
I think I haven't always been aware of them, but I think they've been very distantly present, very far away but still apparent. When I focus on them, there's a white, I don't know what. When I asked that question, there was a white sort of apparition that detached from the guide group and sort of moved and hovered and is still sort of right above me.
All right. And were these who were helping you and holding your hand and doing things to help you, were these your guides or were these other beings?
I think they were my guides.
Very good. It's time now to bring the warmth of your heart to bear on the situation. The love they spoke of, and to embrace them with your love, a reflection of their own, and to give thanks for their presence, for their assistance. Do this now.
Okay.
It's now been 1 hour and 15 minutes into your session. Are you feeling completed now?
Yes, I feel just totally wrapped in love, and it's a very positive spot. It's very centered, comfortable. It's a very good feeling of communication that's happened.
All right. Although it's time to say goodbye, it's important to realize that you are never apart from this feeling, that it is integrated as a part of you, and it is always there.
That was part of the thanks I just offered. I totally agree.
All right. With this in mind, move now back to the area of focus 10. Move smoothly and calmly back to the area of focus 10. 10. the 10 state of comfortable relaxation. Move now to focus 10, 10, 10.
I'm here.
How does focus 10 feel today?
Feels good. It's much lighter than where I was.
Okay. Today, can you count yourself back now to focus 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me hear you say the numbers.
You want me to count all the numbers?
Please.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Come on, you gotta come all the way.
2, 1, 1.
Okay, how you feeling then in 1?
Great, great.
Can you remember everything that happened to you today?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. You wiggle your toes and your fingers?
Mm-hmm. I'm stretching.
Okay. Good.
Always feels like coming back from a long trip.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you'll just lie there in the soft light, someone will be in to get you, okay?
Okay.
Don't try to get up now. Just stay right there.
Patience is a different concept in that sense because there's no time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I felt that as part of the message, an encouragement for me to try to get my mind frame into that reality, because that's not where we come from, particularly in this setting. You're thinking. Actually, I did better with that than I normally do.
So, what are your feelings about today's session?
I don't know. I did have the feeling perhaps there were some times that I wasn't in touch with what I was doing in there. When you asked that, did I remember everything? I thought perhaps I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was more silent periods today than there was in the past 2 days.
Well, one thing I was trying to do was, since the message I was given was to relax, and this business of talking while I'm in that deepest state of consciousness is still a new thing to me, I thought I'd try not talking to see if that helped me relax more,
Yes.
to not bring me back to the physical. I don't think I come back to the physical to talk, but still somehow.
It's a different form of attention anyway.
Yeah, it seems to bring me up a little bit, even not out, but up a little bit. But I found it interesting. Well, I do think first of all, sometimes I have a hard time determining what's a message that's been sent me to what is an idea that I've come up with.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think that will get better as time goes on. But my bottom line feeling was I didn't think I had an out-of-body experience, but that I felt so good about the help I was given and the information I was given. And I got a lot of sensory kind of messages that I haven't had before.
You're telling me that in terms, you know what NLP is, neuro-linguistic programming? You're telling me that. I'm watching your eye movements, and you're having kinesthetic recall as opposed to visual recall when you're talking. So it's
I'm doing this.
Yes.
I do. Yeah. So, that was really interesting to me. And I really got a lot of feeling of not only just communication, but the humor and how close we were communicating today. Because I really did at one point feel like they were kind of, I would have used the word laughing at me, except that would sound demeaning, and so I used the word amused, which I thought was a positive thing.
Well, do you feel like you are closer to these greater parts of yourself than you were before?
And I feel like there's an ever-growing closer and more open communication with my guides.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think at one time maybe either they were concerned I would have an adverse reaction to being touched,
Mm-hmm.
or else they thought I wasn't ready for whatever reason. I felt like I was feeling all that, and for the first time that they thought it was an appropriate time. And I'm very comfortable with waiting for what they think is appropriate time and
Mm-hmm.
following the lead.
Mm-hmm.
But that was interesting. At one point I was rocking. It's hard to describe, but I felt my body vertically, especially this part of my body, at first was vibrating. The upper part is what this part is. I can see that.
The one with the eraser on the end, okay.
This part was rocking vertically this way, and then after a while they tried rocking me this way, sort of horizontally. I really did have that feeling of humor when I said, would you try to lift me? And they were laughing, almost saying this is like lifting total dead weight, which of course was my non-help with the situation, I understood. So that was sort of interesting.
Okay, how do those kinds of comments weigh with what you said just a few seconds ago about trying to decide whether it's something you thought of yourself or whether it's something new?
Those particular incidences?
Yes.
No, I felt totally that was not something imagined, that was something I was sensing.
Okay.
But a couple of thoughts I had, like at one point when I was trying to decide where I was following them. This morning before I came over here, one thought I had was, well, if we decided to go somewhere, if I tried to go somewhere, wonder where a good idea would be. Well, one place I had gone before was out here where the volleyball net is.
Mm-hmm.
In whatever format that is that I've been going.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, that might be an easy place because it'd be a familiar place, and there's always some comfort in familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, there are only a couple of things I did that I didn't tell y'all about. There were a couple of things I tried doing. One thing I tried doing very early was going out there, but I didn't think I went.
Mm-hmm.
If I went, I couldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And I also tried at one point to come in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I did or I didn't. I will say that. I'm not 100% sure one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Because I came in here and stood behind you, and I put my hand on your shoulder, but it wasn't as clear as I've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a terribly clear sensation. So I couldn't define that as well as I usually could. Usually I could at least give you some feedback about something, so I'd have a better feeling about the reality of that, the actuality maybe of that.
I think I didn't sense you being here, but I thought about asking you to perceive what it would be like to be here and decided not to do that. So I may have been, again, communicating with you and with you in your thinking about it, but I didn't perceive you here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I felt, that I probably wasn't successful. But I have a very good imagination. It's very easy for me to visualize, and sometimes it is hard for me to distinguish between whether I visualized a spot that I want to project to and do, and and that's why I like to go, for instance, to a spot I haven't been, because then I can see it, and then when I get there, I know for sure if I did it or not, as opposed to going to a spot that I've already seen.
Well, visualization or imagination is like the first step. You have to be willing to go to that step to move to the next step.
But the bottom line was, while I don't think I did anything in that way all that exciting and exceptional, what was exciting and exceptional is the overall feeling of the experience and the help and the communication and and that feeling of energy. I asked Dar when she came in if she could feel anything different. And that was just, I can't tell you how fun and how warm and how loving and how just wrapped in positive emotion and energy and help. I mean, if you can't come out of that just feeling just power charged, no matter whether you didn't do what perhaps was one of your little targeted things, it's a wonderful feeling of perspective, I guess is one of the things I'm trying to say. I feel real good about that.
Okay, good.
And I did have the absolute feeling that they think this whole concept of this little thing I'm working on is amusing. That's part of what their amusement is. That it would be important to me to be able to...
They're amused that you think this is terribly important?
But they're willing to help, you know.
A parody in Earth Consciousness, it seems like you would deal with playing with a child who was amused at building blocks or something, and it's like the all-important thing to get that block to balance. And the parent sits there very patiently and deals with that and remembers their own amusement back then and, you know, that kind of a thing. It's a loving and a caring.
It's very much that kind of feeling. Where it's an empathy and it's an understanding, but it's a stretch to even remember and understand.